Right, so I clearly need to have a sit down after that. I'm absolutely raging. It's ridiculous. You know, it's the same. It wasn't quite as bad as Norwich last year at home, because trust me, I think it would take a lot to beat that in terms of performance. But again, it's the same thing. We leave it too late. To me, it feels like there's some sort of script going on where Sunderland are destined to go 2-0 down, get one back, and then look half promising, but then not have enough to get out of the game. That's probably complete rubbish, what I've just said. You know, obviously there isn't some pre-written script, but it feels like that. It feels like we weren't allowed to just get something out of the game. I'll congratulate Middlesbrough first and foremost on that, because, you know, this is exactly why I didn't want a promoted team early on in the season, because they were up for it, they were winning tackles, they were putting their bodies on the line, blocks in, everything. They were doing everything that I was wanting Sunderland to do throughout the whole game. And yeah, after the 50th odd minute, or the 55th minute, they turned up wanting to get back in the game. But where was that in the first half? You know, I mean, first 15 minutes or so we did all right, but then once they scored, what the hell? We just backed off and just let them pass it round us. This is a team that came up from the Championship. They were in the Championship for the last 7 years, and we can't beat them at home. God's sake.
Do you think Sunderland left it too late?
It's the same problem. It's the same thing, isn't it? We're leaving it too late. Going 2-0, that second goal right for half time killed us. We really could have done without that going in. And I will admit, the first goal was Stuani. The first goal, world class finish. Not going to take anything away from that. But there was still far too much space for him to have the shot in the first place. And the second one, you know, come on, it was in your own penalty area. You had chances to probably put a tackle in, blocks in, and try and clear it and everything. Not once did any player do that. It's absolutely infuriating that we allowed that to happen. And once that second one went in, that was it. It was game over. I knew we weren't going to get anything from 2-0, and I'm sorry to sound pessimistic, but it's getting a jolt now. This is the type of thing I wanted to avoid. All I said was, I don't want us to be, you know, done what Leicester have done. I'm not expecting us to be doing what West Ham have done, but I expect us to beat teams like Middlesbrough and teams like Hull, Burnley, Bournemouth, Watford, West Brom, Swansea, Palace. Teams like that. Now, obviously, it's only 2 games in, but I'm expecting us to beat teams like that at home. That's not too much to ask for.
Do you think David Moyes got his substitutions right?
You could argue, yes, he did, but at the wrong times. It came far too late. I think, is it Asari? I know I've pronounced that name wrong probably, but either way, you know, he came on with like 10 minutes to go to do what? He wasn't going to make much of an impact with 10 minutes. You know, and then Lenz and, Pinar's substitution was forced. And if O'Shea's injured, we've now got only one senior fit centre-back. You know, and, I mean, Lenz came on and looked all right in flashes of quality, but again, he looks like he's half jogging as if he wants to try and just do an exercise run around the Stadium of Light, forgetting that he's in a Premier League game and we're actually 2-0 down and trying to get something. And that's the team that's going to be competing with us later on. We've just given them a 3-point advantage over us. Well, okay, they earned it to an extent, but you know what I mean? They've now got 4 points, we've now got 0. Yeah, I'm so disillusioned, I've forgotten how many points we've got on the board. That's how annoyed I am. But it's the same old stuff every year. Now, don't get us wrong, I'm not going to lose me meltdown cool over it yet, because although I'm still livid with today's performance, I'm still livid with today's results, the fact is, we've still got 10 days left in the window. But, you know, who we're going to sign? And this takes on to my next point, transfers. Right. I am not attaching any blame to David Moyes for this, because he has come into a situation where 50 gazillion things have gone wrong in a year that was really supposed to be where we get it right. You know, this was supposed. You know, if you think back to how last season ended to now, when last season ended, Sam Allardyce was supposed to come in, was supposed to actually stabilise us and make us hard to beat, make us win the games that we should be winning, and then end up, you know, being nowhere near relegation scrap. Which, based on today's game, looks like we probably are going to be another one again. But the point is, this was supposed to be the year where everything went right. Allardyce comes in, gets a few quality signings in key positions that we need strengthening in quite clearly, and then we can shoot up the league. Now, was Eldershaw reluctant to give Allardyce the money to try and, you know, spend on transfers? Now, don't get us wrong. We've got the debt. Obviously, there's debt at the club, which, fair enough, we need to consider that first and foremost. But at the same time, we're going to be in even further debt if we're not going to spend any money and end up getting relegated. I do not know how on earth the board does. The board might have thought of this. I don't know. You know, but it's like, you know, how on earth are we going to go anywhere if this is our mentality? Oh no, we'll just throw a few quid round here and there and just focus on staying in the league. It's ridiculous, and it's not good enough, because staying in the league is not success.
I think Lynden Gooch did it.
Lynden Gooch was our best player, I think. Lynden Gooch was one of the players who was actually trying to show drive, passion and hunger to succeed. Donald Love as well, who I thought did all right last weekend, he was a bag of nerves today. But at the same time, it's his home debut. You know, he's bound to be slightly shaky. I thought in the second half he did improve as the game went on, but he still looked a bit naive. But that's bound to happen because he's barely played any Premier League football.
Do you think Middlesbrough deserved to win, like from their first?
Over the course of generally I think they did deserve it. I mean, Sunderland, did we deserve a goal? I don't know. Maybe you could argue we did, but again, it was flat. It was too little, too late. And I'll mention something on flatness now. I'm a little bit disappointed that the supporters. Oh, can you be disappointed, the supporters? Because again, I'm one of these people that the players have to give you something to shout about first. Now, at the same time, I thought David Moyes did mention a good point. We needed to make that a cauldron of noise. And from where we were sitting, we could mainly hear the Middlesbrough fans. Well, I'll give them their credit. All the way around was because of Moyes in the game. They shouted their hearts out for the whole match. But we need to give them something to shout about. Now, over the next week or so, Shrewsbury's going to be an experimental game, I think. Mainly to try and gel a team, try and put some stuff together. That's what the Shrewsbury game's for. It's not really hugely important in the context of our season, even though we still want to win it. Obviously, we want to win every game. But Southampton now, they haven't got a win. They've got 1 point on the board. I mean, who's to say? There you go, Southampton fans. If any of you are watching this video, well done. You probably get 3 points against us next week. It's absolutely embarrassing. And again, it's early days. Yes, it's only 2 games. There's still 36 games left to go. But at the same time, Middlesbrough's got 4 points now. Hull's got 6. We've got none. So we're already to an extent playing catch up. It's absolutely. Thank God Chelsea beat Watford yesterday. So I mean Burnley beating Liverpool. We can laugh Liverpool all we want, but I think Burnley will stay up this year.
A lot of work needs to be done, doesn't it?
Well, easily.
Transfer window.
And I want to give this message to Ellershot. There's no chance Ellershot's watching this video, but if he somehow is, watch that and tell me that team is good enough.
Well, he doesn't spend his time on transfers, so he might watch this.
It feels like that, but he won't probably give 2 monkeys what I say anyway, because he's thinking, I've still got loads and loads of money. Right, now here's the thing that annoys me, Ellis. Where has that TV money gone? Even if a majority of it's gone on the debt that was at the club, you can't tell me there's no money to spend on players. I can't buy that for a second, because the years we've been in the Premier League, the money we get from being in the Premier League, the money we get from avoiding relegation, the money we've got from... Well, actually, to be fair, we haven't sold many players, have we? The point is, though, if we're not prepared to spend money over the next 10 days or so, then... I mean, Kabul leaving, for example. I've got no issue with Kabul wanting to leave, by the way. It was for his family reasons, but we didn't need that. The whole Kone thing, the way the way that's going on at the minute.
Mucked the club around, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, exactly. And Allardyce leaving for England hasn't helped. So I can't blame the club on every aspect, because a lot of things that's happened is beyond their control.
Do you think we missed Catmull and Kirchhoff today?
Easily.
In the midfield?
Quite easily miss Catmull and Kirchhoff. You look at it, Kirchhoff technically is very good, and Catmull's like the heartbeat and soul of the team. Gets stuck in, makes the tackles, passes the ball round. It sounds simplistic, you think. So to some Sunderland fans who don't rate Catmull, you can tell we missed him today.
You need him in games like this, don't you?
Easily. And Barini as well. That was another huge miss, because he delivers. Whether you classify that a derby as or not, to me I think it is a derby, although I'm not as gutted as having lost it as what would have been with, say, Newcastle. But Barini, he lives and breathes games like this. He lives big games. This is an occasion that he lives in and dies for. I'm struggling to think of words now, because what can we say that hasn't been said already? It's not good enough. And the players need to stand up when we can. How many of them wanted that win today? How many of them wanted to get a result today? And I'll give credit to Middlesbrough, because they've got some decent forward players. But look, we'll have to see. But we can't lose at Southampton. And even if it's a point good enough at Southampton, we need a win just wins at Southampton. We are pointless at the minute. So let's just roll on Shrewsbury, eh? That's it. Shrewsbury fans, well done on the Football League Cup win over us, because if we play like we did today, you'll steamroll us, that's for sure. So drop the video, like, comment, subscribe. I can't think of anything else to say. I'm just dejected after that. Sort it out, Sunderland.